what made you then think about the Marine Corps? How did you even hear about it? Where did that come from?
Basically, my best friend told me, like, hey, would you like to join the Marines? Like, they're the hardest, they're like all this and that. I'm like, huh, I never heard of that. Like, I never heard of the Marines. I just knew like Army and Air Force. That's
Sure.
about it. And then I looked at like videos and all the stuff. I'm like, oh, so these people are like basically infantry oriented.
Yeah.
People. They're not like, oh, you just dicking around on a boat.
Right.
Or I don't know, stuff like this. Like you're just not doing jack shit. So I like the fact that you could see the difference like before and after somebody becomes a Marine. And I'm like, I want that.
So you knew some people that went in and then
Correct.
came back. So you got to see them become Marines.
Exactly.
And I had a couple of friends go in and come back, and I got to see them as Marines too. And what I could tell you that I noticed right away was there was just this difference in the way they carried themselves. There's a difference in the way that they walked. There was a difference in the way that they, even just in the way they dressed. So what was it for you that was like, yeah, I want to do that?
Just the way they carry themselves.
Same, yeah. And and this friend, did you, like, are you still close with them? You still talk to them?
We're talking here and there.
And what was did you look up any videos? Because before I went in, I did a ton of research. I looked up a ton of videos. I was like, I want to be as ready as possible. By the way, that doesn't help. But
so everything that I've seen was just moto videos. That's it. I didn't see any boot camp videos. That was the
Oh, so you just had
no clue. No clue what I was.
Did you ask your friend like what that was like?
Like they would tell me like, oh, it's hard, this blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I was like training with them like maybe for like a year or so in the pulley.
You were in the DEP program?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like training for like a whole year. I'm like, I got this. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Yeah, what was
So,
that like?
You know those Foot Lockers? How you have the
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever used one. Boy, I got the whole platoon hazed.
Oh, so I had interesting story. So I had a next door neighbor that I had to unlock his locker for the first week of boot camp. So I had to unlock mine and his, and he was from the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
He just grew up in like the country. So like
I see.
they didn't have lockers. Their schools were so small.
Yeah, we don't even have lockers in Romania. There's no such thing as a locker. You just have a backpack.
Right. And so he wasn't used to that either. And so we were like, I remember it was receiving week when we got there. And you know how when you first get there, you have like a temporary place where you stay. Right. He was my next door neighbor at that point. And so, you know, they're counting us down. And so I'm opening my locker and whatever. He's like, with a thick country accent, hey, could you open my locker? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I never touched none of these. And I'm just like, are you serious right now? Like, we have like 5 seconds, dude. And so I ran over and I was like and I got his open, right? And so this was like a reoccurring thing. How long did it take you to get used to that?
I mean, for me, nobody helped me.
So well, at some point
they just like told me like spin it this way. I'm like, I'm just like trying to do things as fast as possible.
Let me just rewind it for 1 second, because when I was terrified to learn the combination lock when I was going into middle school, because that's when I first learned it. That took me a while, not at boot camp, right?
Yeah, like in high school, I've seen people use them, but like I don't have nothing worth like valuable in my backpack other than my books and notebooks. Nothing is of value.
Yeah.
So I never had the need for that.
Right.